Hello, Shu Kimono, hi. Hold on, I forgot to tweet and everything. I'm big brain. How are you guys? And could you let me know how the audio is? Dancing with the blue badger is not a secret code, that's just what we do in this particular case. Audio sounds good, thank you. Oops. I'm echoing? Oh, shoot. Am I echoing now? So I had to open Twitch and it was on my channel. Game is quiet. Okay, I can fix that. Is that better? Or should I make it a little louder? And am I still echoing? I hope not. Yippee! Hi, Avery. Give me 1 minute. That's better? Okay. And am I still echoing or are we good? Editing our collab? Let's go. I need to draw more for it. I've been slacking. Halfway through. Oh my gosh, you're so speedy. I need to catch up. I'll try to get another drawing done later today. Only until I feel that much better. I feel fine. I'm just like, my cough won't go away. Or I'll poke your cheek, what a threat. But yeah, I feel better. I'm just like, I occasionally cough. And I still get like, stuff caught in my throat. But I feel fine. So if you hear me coughing, hairball. Okay? That's what it is. Kirby's cheeks are more stretchy than squishy, this is true. But we don't have to talk about that. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 2. Turn it into pizza? No. If you put cheese on my face, I will cry. Cheese is stinky. The more you know, yeah, it's your fun fact of the day. My cheeks are stretchy. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today, we're swimming into quicksand. So, what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently, she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with a piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Her only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a young'un, at least. Officer Marshall! Thought I'd come and take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Woo-wee! You put steak sauce on ribs? February 23rd, 12:32 p.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 9. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Oop. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, and you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused and you're doubled over. Your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it's time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me. Knock knock. Who's there? Oh, it's him! What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Ah, it's you. Oh, sorry I'm late, Oji. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Oji? How you been? Swim much these days? Ah, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy? Busy smizzy, Oji, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Oji seems to be his nickname for the judge? I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Aha, so you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks? So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He is the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant, Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Skye really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. Ooh, SL92. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us.
Oh, what is this?
It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running?
Mr. Edgeworth.
How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me?
Is that a threat?
Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there, Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got an award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah! The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore.
Come on, just hurry up and open it.
Alrighty. Oh, they're doing it for me. Okay. I push the button.
What? Don't scare me like that.
I'm the one who's scared.
Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off.
And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife? Sure thing, not a problem. Not even a little one, really. Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman.
Oh, well, I think we have that. This literally says SL9. Alrighty.
That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. You're being awfully obvious, dude.
There was a murder at the police department. A detective.
That's hush-hush information, Nudgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. You just did, bro. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order, order, order. Anyway, we at the department were all a-flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places.
The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Oh, that's what you think. Okay. Present this. Easy. Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
Aha! An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minus 7s. 12-2.
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside?
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? 221 SL9, let's go!
Ah! Uh-huh!
Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down.
SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order, order. Well, Chief?
Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto.
I win?
What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case that was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen. Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice! Good show, Little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car.
Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
That was a bad day. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So, something did happen. And why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? The detective was killed. Okay. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto.
I suppose I could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Oh boy, how he was killed is the only question we don't actually have the answer to. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing. With a knife.
A knife?
That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same.
What do you mean?
There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death.
It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. 5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office.
What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place the very same time. What are the chances?
Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident.
It's not officially linked, so I can't talk much about it.
How could you say there's no connection?
How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto, you understand?
Try to understand, Righto.
Well, if you could prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together.
Whatever it is, I'd better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. One at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife! What was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out.
Okay. So I check the knife out.
There's a small tag on the knife.
It says SL9 too.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6. Maybe it's a case number.
That's weird.
What?
I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either.
Maybe I should check the court record again.
Okay, well, they're telling me to do the... Okay.
It's a bad day. Detective was killed at the time of the crime. It's not officially linked, so I can't know it. Okay. I guess I do this? No? Okay. Not officially linked, so I can't talk much about it. I guess the knife then? No? It's evident. Okay. It's not officially linked, so I can't talk much about it. A name and ID number are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID 5842189. Numbers, letters. Yabba. Okay. That's not it. Entered lot 2 to... Oh, date. Is it this maybe? Bruce Goodman, 221, loss of blood from chest wound, one was caused by a knife. Okay, I'm gonna save though. Parking stop? No, alright. Load. I guess I press this again. So this knife was stolen. Yes, but on the day of the murder, it was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Okay. That was a bad day. Detective was killed. Time of the crime is not officially linked. Okay. Is there anything else I can check on this? No? I guess I'll just repress everything. Okay. The knife was stolen. What happened? Detective was killed. Just arrested. I'll tell you one thing. Where were they found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. Oh, okay. Alright. Ha! Three. Okay. So I press this again, do the thing. Where it was found, okay. Okay, now I can ask Ann to testify about the details. It's not officially linked. I'm gonna save anyway, just so I don't have to do that again. Press. Chief. The defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention, the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in the very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Alright. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Give me the ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. He won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 584-2189. 584-2189. Oh, well, would you look at that? Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. 584-2189. 584-2189. I'm a genius. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department. 584-2189.
This tells me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. What does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news. Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh-ho! Is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 584-2189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right! Again! The number the chief of police gave us was 584-2189. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto, sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room, at the exact same time. That's impossible. So, what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location. Order, order, order! Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight. The grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins?
Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, but is this Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir.
You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lotta Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted this report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I...
Are you just gonna...
No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law?
Well, Mr. Wright?
Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on the list.
So, what does this mean?
I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over here. Good job, Righto, my boy.
Huh? I was just doing my job.
No. No!
Edgeworth messed up big time. It seems we have come to the end of this trial.
I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. Alrighty. We will save and we will continue. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Mr. Wright? So, what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused.
Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room.
What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car.
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least.
Alright, let's do it.
Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us.
For science.
February 23rd, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares?
Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie.
Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it.
That oil drum. Was it empty? The oil drum, kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water.
My sister? Erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never!
Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister.
That's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her.
Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Making mushroom pasta now, hoping I don't burn the house down. Ooh, good luck. I hope it turns out good, and yes, don't burn your house down. Stay safe.
Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright.
Huh? What's that grin for?
This situation calls for one thing, and that is Luminol testing fluid.
Luminol?
Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
But wouldn't the police have already done those tests?
Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try.
Me? Why do I have to do it?
I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet.
We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it.
Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses.
Huh? You had an extra pair of those things?
To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press enter to spray it on. Okay, let's find out some blood stains.
I could just click. Alright, perfect. Aha! Examine. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So, is this a blood stain?
It's so...
Emma, you're shaking.
It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood.
Scientific investigation in action.
Okay, well, we definitely know this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course.
What's odd about this? Scientifically. The amount. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood?
I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe.
It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to have been more blood than this.
Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plan where we find a blood stain, okay? See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right?
Yeah. And this stuff's pretty handy, too.
I saved up my allowance to buy that.
Luminol, let's go.
We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case.
Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day.
Yeah. It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it?
Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! Oh, that was her. Oops. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box.
Miss Starr!
You only trust your own eyes. Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Deli? That is sushi. Sorry. Oh, sorry. It's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but no, it's okay. It was my fault.
Oh, we know.
I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see? I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry.
Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable.
Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Skye stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what?
So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr?
Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up.
Coughed it up?
They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I could be an angel too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the Cough-Up Queen.
Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches.
And you were let go? Or fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator.
And if those prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case. The SL9 incident.
SL9?
Wait, she doesn't mean...
Alrighty. Talk.
What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. Oh. And on that note, Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know.
Really?
That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet.
Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Why won't you talk?
Am I supposed to present this? If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes.
So you went straight to the scene of the crime?
I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes.
In other words, 5 minutes after the crime.
Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were.
The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem.
Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time.
That time? Are you going to speak? Finally.
That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable.
Disposable? To who?
2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence.
So, they didn't solve it?
On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed.
Executed?
Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred.
What? But the criminal was executed, right?
On the basis of evidence. Of a sort. Made up evidence.
What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence?
The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen. Others found themselves out of a job.
And you were one of those?
Myself and one other person you know well.
Wait, could it be?
Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean, Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then, it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I.
You haven't forgotten SL9?
There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us.
Wait, those lunches you sell?
There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate.
Miss Starr's old boyfriends? How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection.
So, Rookie.
What?
It seems like you're serious about investigating this case.
Yes.
Then you should take this.
Salisbury steak lunch?
I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat.
Steak lunch. Received from Miss Starr. Excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his? Are you going out?
Why do you want to know?
I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then.
This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective.
But now he's so cold.
Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that.
I see. Thank you.
Officer Jake Marshall, Can we go to him? February 23rd, Police Department. Entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday.
The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring.
I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here, after all.
So, the evidence room. The scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is.
She's like a kid at an amusement park.
Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look.
Can we? Oh, nice. Let's go. February 23rd. Evidence room entrance. Guard station. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric.
According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room.
So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime.
It sure seems that way. Oh.
What's wrong?
It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight.
If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard?
I have a feeling I know who he is already.
Hee.
Yikes! These sure are prickly. They must be the real deal.
I would think just one big one would be sufficient.
These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually.
How so?
Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her.
I'm not so sure I see the resemblance.
It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. There's a security guard uniform hanging here.
Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly.
A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? A paunchy? A pinchy. I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it.
It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being.
Look on the floor, a lasso.
Looks like it's set up to trap something.
A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed.
You sure have an active imagination. The evidence room is beyond that door.
Let's just walk in. It won't open.
You thought it would be open? I think we'd need someone's permission to go in there first. It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here.
There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there.
But they're not gonna let me.
The swinging door makes this place look like some kind of saloon.
But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way.
Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch!
I'd say it'd be more of a yarg myself. Okay, so they're not gonna let me in. February 23rd, Police Department entrance. This place is charged with frantic energy as always.
Please! Huh? Wasn't that...
One steak lunch, please! Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's not the time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man.
What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland.
Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. No, he's so sad. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking.
Now's not the time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence.
The criminal? You mean...
You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal?
On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed in the police department.
And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy.
But Detective Gumshoe, who was it?
Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly.
Wait, don't leave.
If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later.
He ran off to the evidence room.
Well, this investigation is off to a running start.
Alrighty. Criminal Affairs Department, Underground Guard Station. How do I get to the detention center? Oh, that way. February 23rd, Detention Center Visitors Room. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing.
What was that?
Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I was the perpetrator again, sir. That's what I'd say.
No, he's so sad.
Hi. Greetings, sir.
Wait, I know who you are. Meekins! Meekins, no! I know he's so sad. Also, hi, Ramla, welcome.
Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir.
Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center?
No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir.
Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. The perfect time to join, for real, for real. Your Honor, shut up, you weren't even there. So sad. Also, hi, Esperhodo, welcome.
No, sir, how should I say this?
Wait, he isn't. Is he? You, Officer Meekins, you did it. Did you?
Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir.
What?
What?
Now this is an unexpected turn of events. How are things going? Pretty good. We're making some progress. The camera show perfectly resonated with your voice shaking. Epic. Let's go. Alright, we're gonna talk to Meekins. My ears? Oh, yes. My wiggly ears.
Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir! Sir!
Ow. I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins.
The business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir.
So, normally there's a guard at the evidence room.
That's right, sir. Because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir.
Turning off autocorrect now so there will be terrible typos instead of wrong words. Fair enough. Sometimes the typos are easier to read, though.
Now the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall.
Marshall?
Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Yeah.
What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then?
After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center.
How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Oh no, a rat!
Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir.
A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky.
Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office.
First things first. Tell us how you hurt your hand. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? How does Emma clip through the table? She's on the outside. So Meekins is inside the room. Welcome, Gray. Hi. Adds pain. But yeah, Emma's on the outside. She's not in the room with him. We're talking through a glass panel. You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right?
Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me a perpetrator or a victim, sir, then label me victim.
I would. But you happen to be in detention. And alive and well at that.
Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that.
Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman?
Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then he leans heavily on the total stranger side.
So you didn't know him?
Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives.
So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him?
Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir, none. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir.
At least someone around here is more confused than I am. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime?
Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there's nothing I could do.
Goodman Better Call Saul reference? Oh, is it? Nothing you could do.
Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed the knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious.
The next thing you knew, you were... Huh?
Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir, all alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared.
What?
Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir.
Guess this is probably a lot older than that show. Maybe. I think this game was made in like... I'm pretty sure it's early 2000s. Maybe 2001?
Oh, the shock, oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt?
The victim's body disappeared. That's some story. Do I give him something? Maybe not now. Okay. Let's visit Edgeworth's office. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday.
Who is that hot woman? Her name is Angel Starr, ex-detective. She now sells lunches. And I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here.
I'm sure he's off doing important investigations.
I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back. Okay. February 23rd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here.
Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department.
Yes, but the same detective was also killed the same time in the prosecutor's lot.
Makes my head hurt.
Well, first things first. Let's go check out the police department crime scene.
Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead.
I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Okay, back to the police department, or the underground parking lot. Okay. Do I examine? Who's the cute woman playing the game? That would be me. I'm playing the game. I'm not cute though, but thank you. So this is the famous oil drum. Well, no time like the present. I'll try to kick it over myself. Hi-ya! That's okay, don't cry. That Lana Sky must be one strong woman. Can I use the luminol, please? Aha. Is there blood here? No. Don't attempt to eat an oil drum hole. I don't think I could. Can I go up there? So that's where Miss Star saw the incident from. Probably see quite a lot from up there. That probably means she wasn't lying when she said she saw Miss Sky stab him. Where's the security guard anyway? Well, this is just something I heard, but apparently he went out to buy coffee for Miss Star. That woman is a force to be reckoned with. Do I have to give you something? Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir! That's it! That's it! That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But sir, now I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct! That card was the cause of it all! This ID card? Exactly, sir, that's exactly it! Nothing could be more exact, sir, nothing! I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Let's go. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman was the one who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir! That's what I've been trying to tell you! So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him. Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim whom he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir! That's what I wanted to say! That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, it's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge, I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. Well, I guess we better go check out the crime scene. Aha! February 23rd, Police Station Criminal Affairs Department. Hey, Mr. Wright! Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives' desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all, You know what it means if there is anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats.
Under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine.
I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal?
Yes, sir! We'll scour the place again, sir. The chief of detectives looks a little flustered.
Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much?
Oh ho ho, Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Is Edgeworth going to be okay?
Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know. They're doing a little inquiry committee with him.
Sounds like an inquisition.
Yup, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year.
You mean the incident on Gourd Lake?
It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto?
Von Karma.
A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court, you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence.
Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence.
In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy.
What?
Oop. It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean.
There being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible.
Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says.
What evidence is this?
Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. In this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it.
I wasn't expecting much anyway.
You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives' trap shut.
Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier.
Ah, you saw that? Whoops.
I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Whoa. Let's see if we could kind of discreetly ask him. Do we have to give him something? This? Nope. This? Nope. This? How do we discreetly ask him? Okay, I have to give him something. What do I give you? Fine. I'll go somewhere else. Can I go in yet? Nope. What do I do? Surely I have to give him something.
I'll just go down the list. Alright, no. Or maybe, okay. Oh, sorry you had to see that.
What exactly did the chief of police want you to do?
Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can.
So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here.
Of course not. Well, except for this.
What? You kept something?
Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete.
A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something?
The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. Goodman's lost item report, a half-written document dated February 21st, can only be submitted to the chief of police. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Okay. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty much fully recovered from my cold. It's just sometimes I will cough. Like earlier. But otherwise, you know, things are fine. How about you? How do I get in here? I want to check out the crime scene. Let me in. Or do I hand the thing to Gant? Eh. Okay. Guard station. Are we stuck again? Mayhaps. They won't let me. I'm trying. But I don't know. Because Phoenix told me to come here. Okay, wait. Eh. I found something.
Wow, we got a reaction!
There's clearly blood around the spines here. This room's pretty messy. Someone must have tripped over something and planted their head right in these spines.
I think that might be more painful than being murdered.
That is one big cactus? It is. He's huge. Please. Okay. Can I use this to get in? No? Bruce Goodman, ID, he forwore. Cool. What do I do? You want to look at this, Meekins? Need some help? Yes, please. I don't know where to go. Let me open Google. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, permission to enter. There it is. Never mind, I got it. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Rhino asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. You're welcome. Yes, thank you very much. Why are you staring at me like that? Now, Rhino.
Actually, I'm sorry. I didn't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I give them $50, no problem. Sir, can I borrow $50? So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out.
It just goes to show, you never know until you ask.
And as for you, here, you can borrow this.
Huh? Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it?
Can I borrow $50? You know, I don't have $50 to give away like that, unfortunately. I would also like to borrow $50. That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it.
Yes, sir. It's an honor.
You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks.
Hehe. Looks pretty cool on my label, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID.
You seem happy.
Yes, sir. Because, sir, we get to go to the evidence room now, sir.
In a playthrough I watched of this game by some streamers, someone called David Gant donated $50 later in the stream, which is just perfect. That's amazing. 10 out of 10. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. We gotta go in now. Let's go. Guard station. Move. Do I look at it? Uh-huh. The evidence room is beyond that door.
And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open.
Aha! The card reader's turned off, see?
What's the security guard thinking?
Howdy, partners. Well, well, what's made my Bambina sky so gray? Took you long enough. Officer Marshall, why does it have to be him? What's that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon.
We're here to investigate the crime scene.
Yeehaw, that card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts.
Yeehaw?
Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. The music, though, his music is one of the best. It's so good. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. But what if I gave you this? That smell. Reminds me of Texas.
So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas?
No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby?
Yeah, Miss Starr.
What's this?
What? What's wrong?
A filet steak lunch. I see, I see.
I don't see. I wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall.
All right, Bambina, you win. Ask me anything.
Finally, seems like. He's willing to talk.
Let's go!
Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right?
You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job and I'm grateful for it.
Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us.
Ah, the poor little doggy? Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly.
He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago. Well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know?
So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place?
Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy.
Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy.
There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place.
You mean the security camera system?
I bet you he just has a Fiat or something.
He probably does. There's no way he's riding a horse, right? He's fake cowboy. I don't talk to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know?
Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago.
It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. It's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire.
You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you?
That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it.
What kind of case was it anyway? I've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened.
There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago.
2 days ago? The day of our case!
That's right. The evidence transferals.
Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too.
I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do.
Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen.
Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well... We will never bring it up again, just like the DL6 case. No one will ever talk about it again. Yeah, no, not at all. SL9, don't know her. I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras.
Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned.
If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours.
And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of the tapes?
I reckon they might be.
You're the security guard, and you reckon?
One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card.
Thus the card reader by the door.
The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through.
777777 at 4:20. 8730579 at 4:40. 4989596 at 4:50. 5842189, that's Goodman's, at 5:14. And then the 491 again at 5:14. So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before.
Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that.
Huh?
I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet.
Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before.
That's why Gant can pay us that much, $50. He just won the jackpot? For real.
Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing.
Okay, well, I can do that.
See this? This is the victim's ID card.
Oh, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot.
The number on this is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. There it is. Look, the 4th number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing.
What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world.
So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card.
So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do?
That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me!
If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I could give you this ID card record. Let's go! I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Let's go. Sorry, but could you explain that whole transferal thing? This whole transferal thing is... Could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? Goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February.
I see now.
Transferal's like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. Cool. We move. February 23rd. Evidence room. Sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here.
So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard.
Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue.
Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me.
It's gummy!
Eek!
Whoa!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So, is it true what I heard? Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police can't. Will loan anyone $50? Even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today.
Just for today? Boss for a day?
But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day.
Gee, thanks.
First of all, you'll want to have this.
Evidence room floor plans. Scene of the stabbing of a detective at the PD. So, Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day?
That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again. I'm adamant, though. I'm gonna take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Of course. I am a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal.
Only you can open?
I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right?
They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess-up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning and the end for Mr. Edgeworth. The beginning of the end. Maybe we could get him to tell us more about the case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker's fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand.
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coated with a fingerprint. Is that Maggie Bird? Oh my gosh. So the only locker we can open is our own.
Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handle, see?
The handles?
The other side of the handle is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it,
bzzz, you get a shock.
If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
Only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open.
Cool. Gumshoe knows a surprising amount about this stuff. Yeah, it's true. You kind of wouldn't expect it from him. Detective Goodman's note, and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection. That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared.
But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. Now that was a bloody violent case. Violent, so it was a murder. A serial killing. A serial killing. Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. Do we ever see Edgeworth's first case? Is it the prisoner on the bridge in the next game? I think, yeah, it's the third game, the one with the prisoner on the bridge. I'm pretty sure. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago. That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and started the rumor mill. That wasn't SL9, but yeah, apparently this was his first, like, big case. So I guess the other one is considered a small one. Rumors about forged evidence. It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So, the switchblade knife.
The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself.
Oh yeah, because the way that case ended definitely makes it a small case with the defendant coming out completely healthy. Yeah, it's a little sus, but what can you do? What is this?
There's something sticking out of here.
Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case.
I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was open recently.
How do you know?
If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too.
I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either. If you're gonna talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here.
What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is.
Oh, that's my personal pole! I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal, that's the metal detector. The one that led to the solving of the case out on Gourd Lake, remember? Oh, right. Wow, that feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it'll come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. That cheap-looking box? Can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. Okay.
Glove. Someone left a glove here, but only one.
Detective Gumshoe, maybe.
I want Rocket back, or whatever the dog was called. Rocket's just the first thing that came to mind. You're close, it's Missile.
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know.
You mean SL9?
It does have a tag on it.
Rubber glove. Tagged evidence from the SL9 incidents. Extremely thin rubber glove.
Yeah, you were really close.
The vibe was there. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces.
Detective Gumshoe, perhaps. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case.
The case?
The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces here? Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke.
You want to try to put it back together?
Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue.
Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Okay. Oh boy. Can I... Whoa, okay. I see. This fancy minigame. I am struggling already. Oh, okay, I see now. I'm looking for a jagged piece.
No. Is it this? Aha. I think that's right. How am I struggling with this? I'm really bad with puzzles. I don't think... No. Okay. What this? No. Look at this one. Well, now I can't see. No, I don't think that's it. Thank you for the hydrate and stretch. Just rotate. I'm just turning pieces. They won't let me rotate the actual thing. Ugh. Okay. I have hydrated and stretched. It's this one. There we go. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far, too, in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Unstable jar. Jar piece back together from fragments found at the crime scene. A piece is missing. Shut up, Gumshoe. No! He did his best. What's with this? Blood! It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright! What if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use our testing fluid to check it out. Alright. Bring out the luminol. That is a handprint. I knew it! This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker! It's mine! It's yours? Please! You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. That is tragic, truly. Ooh. Big bloodstain. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien. This proves that something really did happen in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. Must have been a lobster. Definitely not a human. Ooh! Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too.
I'll just borrow 50 bucks from the chief.
Where do you get this, Emma?
I always buy it by mail order.
Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plans. I think that's it. Unless I missed something. Nope, okay. Can you buy luminol on Amazon? Legit curious. I don't know. I feel like you probably could.
Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above the door is lit.
That locker's coded with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker.
Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. Let me find out. Yes, let me know how it goes. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere.
What is this? Oh, what is the saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression.
True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here.
Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger. Well, you might say this is my studio. Here, in the evidence room.
This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams.
I'm not so sure about the dreams.
It won't open.
Did you really think it would? Hey pal, our security's high-tech around here. If you put these pieces together, it makes a jar.
There are two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable?
No wonder it broke. I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. Are we just going to ignore the fact that there's blood on it? Hang on. It's $12? Wait, that's so cheap!
Hey, look! They're hard to make out, but there are some dark red stains here.
Looks like blood.
Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed?
Not likely.
This blood looks like it's been here for months.
Oh, this blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it. Oh, you're done with cooking? How'd it go?
Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom.
That's weird.
I wonder which side is up.
Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar?
At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right?
I suppose. Oh, you just started. You didn't clean the kitchen for 2 days and you had to correct. I see. I hope it goes well. The tag says SL9, 11. I guess this is another piece of evidence from that case.
You know, I never did care for the word tag. It's confusing.
Huh? What's so confusing about that?
Do you know how many other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zag.
Zag? Is that a word?
Do you challenge me?
What, are we playing a word game now? You also got distracted. That's fair. It happens. Blood, blood, blood.
Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner.
That looks like a car door.
There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame.
Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away.
Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing.
He's been shot square in the forehead.
Better him than us.
As the Beatles said, let it be.
That's the door we just came in through.
Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out. I wonder what would happen if Officer Marshall cut the power while we were inside.
Let's hope he remembers we're in here. Please. Okay, You can't open the lockers if your fingerprint doesn't match. If you can open it, they'll give you 50 cents.
Note, the police department lacks faith in its lock system.
After all, Detective Goodman was stabbed here after opening his locker. But at the same time, he was found dead over at the prosecutor's office.
Interesting.
This is my crowning achievement, my masterpiece, you might say. But art is always misunderstood, pal.
Art?
He was dancing proudly on the day of the awards ceremony. But there were a lot of people coming and going after the ceremony, so they took the Blue Badger away for a while.
Really? Why?
Oh, they said it was shameful or something like that. Shameful! I toiled night and day!
I sympathize with Detective Gumshoe, but I could see why they moved it. Is there anything else to give him? Maybe this? Nope.
Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa!
What is it?
The second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth!
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
Ooh. Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna go give them my report for the day.
Oh my gosh, it's Armstrong's restaurant.
Might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer?
The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he could use a report like this. I believe in him.
Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe?
I'm off, pal. Later.
I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too.
To Edgeworth!
February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, Room 1202.
It's the bellboy!
Ah, yes. My apologies.
Oh, it's you.
Have we met somewhere?
Huh?
Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long.
Is Edgeworth here?
There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand.
I see no teacup.
Right.
He has the hotel bring him tea service?
Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the District Prosecutor's Office inquiry?
I am.
By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you.
Yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems.
Really? Was it helpful?
Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info's on the other side, Edgeworth.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him.
So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again.
Again?
I've heard them say that so many times.
Am I okay? Yeah, I just get stuffed up sometimes, and then, it's hard to talk. I'm fine, though. It's just a hairball.
Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However,
Something happened?
they gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results.
I see.
Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still.
Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Alright, care to talk about this? Oh, right, I'd better check this now.
As I was saying, What is this? A record of ID card usage.
Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less.
Yes, that's true.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less.
The Chief of Police? A116. Or is that AI? AI16.
He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office.
But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed.
The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case.
Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Screwdriver. Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's. Brought back to his office by Gant's request.
Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case.
That's what they all say. Okay, we don't... Wait, what did he say? Show him badge? Maybe if I just show him my best evidence, I can get... Okay, best evidence. Best evidence. Is it this? No? Oh, wait. Is there a history option? Oops. No? Okay. Lovely. He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. What are we talking about? Oh, forgery. I see.
The SL9.
Ugh. I can breathe.
The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant.
That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago, too, then.
He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation?
In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed.
Wait, you did it?
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
If you were still studying forensic science.
Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints.
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
Let's go. For me? Are you sure? We're the enemy, you know.
I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will.
Edgeworth, I'm really...
No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved.
Thanks.
How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Let's go! Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Let's go! Police department. Guard station. On that cactus! We could. Let me... How do I use it? Do I have to... They won't let me use it! No! I want to see who touched the cactus. February 23rd, Evidence Room, Sector 3. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, and this blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. You need evidence of a handprint first? Ah, a shame. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger. Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that'll have left behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Alright, well... Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? Did you pick it or was it automatic? I picked it. With enter, see? Ah, looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With E. I think you picked wrong. Oh, oops. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. Yeah, the struggles of trying to figure out how to blow on an emulator, that took way too long. No, for real, I remember struggling with that too. I guess I'd better give it a try. Yippee! That was incredibly easy, okay. Aha, you did it! You found one! But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn a glove. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. This is why I said you picked wrong. Ah, I see. It seemed like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. Whee! There we go. Am I supposed to do more? Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Also, I was fully expecting Emma to say, our culprit must have had no fingerprints. It's like Yanni Yogi all over again. No! The flashbacks. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet. This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person you think left those prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So, whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker? Where's Gumshoe? There it is. It's Lana Sky. She is the culprit. Sussy. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look.
I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what?
Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright.
Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. It was over here. This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right?
Right, there was a handprint here. Okay, wanna try using this?
There go her eyes, sparkling again. We shall check. Okay, let's check for prints.
That's the spirit.
Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What?
The area with the blood was wiped away, right?
We only ended up finding it using chemical means.
Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too.
Oh, right. So that means no prints.
Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high?
Don't ask me!
Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away.
Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. I'm not seeing anything. No. Do I get it? No. They only wiped away the bloody part. So it'd be like here, right? No? Like, it's not on the sensor. Oh wait, here's one. Okay, there we go. What's left? The not bloody. There we go. Hello? Oh, do I have to click it like this? Oh. Oh, well, well, well. Yeehaw! Hey, these fingerprints, they...
Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know?
It's Officer Marshall!
Huh? Officer Jake Marshall?
Marshall's fingerprints. Found on a bloody handprint left in the evidence room, the print had been wiped.
That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime.
Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place.
Oh. Oh.
So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped bloodstain.
But why would Officer Marshall?
Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence.
I don't believe it.
We keep going. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
So what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. We're not done yet? No. Unfortunately, no. This trial is long. So we're gonna make some progress.
Lana!
Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though.
So how'd it go?
It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. Is the trial 1 or 2? This is the second part.
A plea bargain? What do you mean by that?
We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma.
But Lana, don't tell me you...
Much to my regret. I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. Worst deal ever? Too bad she couldn't say yes. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. I don't think you get capital punishment for this anyway. I'm not sure. It is murder. But like, yeah. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. There's still a decent amount of doubt that's true. They haven't guaranteed that it's her yet. And she basically just admitted that she didn't do it because she's like, I have no idea how this guy died. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall?
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. My poor cowboy man! February 24th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself.
And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department.
The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. I'm so hyper for this testimony. Look at him! It's the lad. He's back. Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir! I'm Officer Mike Meekin, sir! My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir!
Judges don't call suspects murderer, please! He just admitted it, though.
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Meekins, don't call yourself a murderer, please! You are not helping anyone here.
Sir, it was me, sir! I'm the one who did it! I'll never kill anyone again, sir! You gotta believe me, sir!
Actually, what we'd like to hear from you...
Sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir! A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend!
Mike Meekin's assassin for hire. It's all just an act. No. I can't deal with that.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir.
Officer Meekins.
Yes, sir.
Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order.
Yes, sir. As you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm.
Any second now, he'll pull off his mask, look totally different and scary, and say, "You finally uncovered my true form." No, that would break my little heart. Crime report, sir.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I didn't. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
before breaking loose, killing the judge, and escaping while throwing smoke bombs. He has this all planned out.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. And then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Which means we press. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Yikes! Now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir.
There it is!
I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
Secretly Shelly to kill her in disguise? That would be the best disguise ever. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Alright. Meekins is the Blue Badger in disguise. I bet he could do the dance. I could see it. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Epic foreshadowing, which most people won't get. Gotta wait and see.
There it is, I found it! This is the one right here.
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir! It's 4989596. That's my number, sir.
Get what I'm referring to? I think so. But also, it has been a while, so maybe I don't and I'm gaslighting myself. I see, huh? But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. What game is your guess? It's the Edgeworth one, no? I don't remember if it's 1 or 2. But he was in the amusement park, right? And my Meekins impression is awesome. Thank you.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger into the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see. So it was during the second time when...
Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen.
Data added to ID card record. Let's go.
I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked.
Correct, it's so fun you get these freaking obscure references. Yes! I do remember. I'm smart. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It's a knife, sir, a knife!
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
Think it's first game? Okay. First. Actually, yeah, that's probably right, because that's when Edgeworth met Kay, right? You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. Something happening in the ghost house? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Truly don't remember the case. I remember very vaguely. Just theme park, yeah. Lots of badgers.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... Mirrors in a ghost house? Yeah. Vaguely remember, it's slowly coming back.
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar.
You have cooked? How did you cook? How was the cooking? I did it. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I spilled some cheese over my table, but it went well. Well, I'm glad to hear that it's just cheese and not anything else. I see. He must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir!
And then he passed out. About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
You've been taught real men don't look at explosions, but that's wrong. Real men close their eyes while performing disarming maneuvers. Truly the manliest of men. That's why Meekins starts with M.
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins. We really don't. It was very vaguely semi-helpful, but not really.
With regard to that, sir... Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The chief delivered it?
What is that?
Videotape?
Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. Videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera at the evidence room.
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Okay, here we go.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Here it is! The memories! I stared at this video for far too long. I've been waiting for this for so long. It's here. Look at that maneuver. There he goes, disarm him! He certainly did. Woohoo! There it is, the entire video. Again! We will definitely watch it again.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that was the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir! It's the Blue Badger, sir!
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? The video!
Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room, and some sort of, activity did take place.
Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir, as you wish, sir.
Mystery man.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
Again, screw this testimony. We need a video, the highlight of all our days. For real. I'm sure it'll come up again, surely.
What's this about a fingerprint?
Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Okay. His face can't be seen, but he opened the locker. Okay. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
I wonder what kind of methods he's tried.
If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir! And this too!
How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
People in the know? That's a terrible system. Honestly, yeah. Because once they're gone, you can't open it again.
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. Not that secure in the slightest, no. You could steal fingerprints. The hiccups! But yes, that is true.
So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint.
Hold up, I'm gonna try to get rid of these hiccups. Okay, let's hope that worked. Or use one of many other ways to open it. Yeah, boo! You're cured, I am cured. Must have been him, no one else could have unlocked it. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir!
Can you borrow one of my paws for a few hours? I suppose so. Just remember to give it back, okay? I do need them.
Sir, if I may say something, sir! Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in the case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
Is there a problem with the video? There is. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. A decent point from Meekin's, not gonna lie. He's big brain, for real, for real. Strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction?
Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out.
Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
You could do it, Mr. Wright. Hit setup so you could fast forward, rewind, or pause the video.
Show it again, we will watch through it again.
Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video.
How did
did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman?
Alright, guys, enjoy it. Because I know where this contradiction is, I'm pretty sure. Insert Cinema Sins intro. Everything wrong with Blue Badger security in 5 minutes or less. Beautiful. You also know good. You can laugh at me if I'm wrong then. Also, I just want to say this was an impressive animation for the DS. Honestly, yeah.
Take that! The thing that's strange about this video has gotta be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it be?
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise.
The point?
What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman.
Oh yeah. Did I not find that? Phew, I almost walked right into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir! Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Now what do I do?
I was allowed to laugh. Yes, you were. Alright. What do you mean? Alright, wait. Am I supposed to point at this one? Too bad the music doesn't speed up. That would have been awesome. True. Is it the light? Wait, is it the light? No. Hold on. Maybe I'll try the glove first. Is that his hand falling out of the locker? Yes.
Take that!
Gotta be this.
Objection!
Gosh dang it! Wrong. So sad. Alright, play it again. I'm in pain.
Take that!
There we go. Has gotta be this. Officer Meekins!
Sir, do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. I got the stuff, it was just in the wrong order. Big sad. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, Let's rewind to a little earlier. Look at him go. VTuber bobbing along with the music? Yes, I'm vibing. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Order, order. What is the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
That is not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
Oh, well, if it just goes to show, novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor. Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor. Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field.
What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor?
Something jammed the sensor?
Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. I know what it is! Ah! Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this. We're gonna be hearing this sound for a while. Haha, I found you. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. It's so silent. I think we should all add this to our Spotify playlist. Honestly, maybe I'll add it as a sound redeem. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir. Please do. Okay, I'll add it when stream is over. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Do 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 do. Come on. There it is. This white thing wasn't inside this locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents.
Meekins, how? I don't know how he does it. He is an absolute legend.
It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I've finally got this figured out. Very well, will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? Where's the glove? I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Who snuck in a kotatsu? Fess up. Is it comfy? Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir, it would appear so, sir.
Order, order, order. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke?
Very well, begin your testimony.
Mystery Man 2.
There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
An ID card record. I see.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor.
Hey, that was mine. That's mine.
The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim.
Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using the room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases.
Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too.
Although it doesn't make much of a difference. But the ID doesn't mean it was Goodman who used it? Precisely.
There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Right, I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination.
Alright, I have something, but I don't know if I'm supposed to press stuff first. One must use their ID card, and there's a record at the time the detective had used their ID. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you.
Yes, sir, he didn't show me any ID card, sir.
Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife.
Maybe he just panicked.
Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. Alrighty, I will. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not gonna waiting, sir.
I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
It was really that easy, I guess. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report. It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report.
Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right?
I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order, order. So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order, order, order.
Does the prosecution have a response?
I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo.
Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are 2 grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes? What's he up to?
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in the video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder.
That is, well, I guess that's right.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
This isn't going to end well.
Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. Well played, Edgeworth, well played. He's giga-braining.
The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime.
So, that was a really great play. Yeah, he set everything up.
So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot, at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
Ah! Well, trustworthy, very sus. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman.
Just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? We object, always! Oh, you have to leave getting tired? That's okay. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you have a good sleep. Have fun? Thank you, I will. One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
Let me know how far you managed to get. I think after this save point, we're gonna stop. So it'll probably take one more stream day. But yeah, thank you for coming. So I know in the story. Gotcha. I will update you then. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
What are you talking about?
Bye-bye. This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. We're really just going to keep watching this video. We'd love to see it. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses would be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The
truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name?
Yeehaw, man!
Officer Jake Marshall.
Why him?
I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the group, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time?
We will, Your Honor.
Court is now in recess. February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2.
There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean?
You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you've figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out.
Lana, you're the one who knows everything.
Emma.
You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you.
I don't recall ever asking for his protection.
How could you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
No, come back.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky!
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
Oh. You mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident?
But Lana, that's...
I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness?
SL9 incident files. Filed for the Joe Dark killings solved 2 years ago.
Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders.
Well, let's just take a look. Incident number SL9. Closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime serial murder. Sentence death. Victims Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, and Neil Marshall. Ooh! Trial data. Head prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses, Lana Sky and Emma Sky. Investigation Task Force. Executive investigators, Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Head investigator, Bruce Goodman. Investigators, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr.
Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? But why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that...
That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago. The rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings.
The Joe Dark... No! No, Lana! That's over with! No!
Emma, wait!
She ran away.
You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here.
Jake Marshall,
Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file.
Wowie! We just got some thick information here. But I think we'll end it here for today. We got about 3 hours in. That's crazy. Hopefully we'll be able to finish it next week. So thank you guys so much for coming. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!